So today is day 6, and we're in week 2 of trying to become a professional day trader as somebody who's brand new with no experience whatsoever. So yesterday was a day where we had a few things pop up and we really didn't get any opportunities. Today we've got a couple of brand new stocks we've never traded before on the scanner that kind of fit our criteria. They're not an exact fit, but they're kind of close. So we're going to keep an eye on the price action. We're going to look at the charts. We're going to study the charts, analyze it. We're going to let you know what I'm thinking. And if we see a good opportunity for an entry, we're going to go ahead and take it. And I'm hoping we get that. But if not, that's still a win. If we don't trade again, that's still a win because we didn't lose money. So let's dive into the screen. Let's take a look at the charts and let's see what happens. All right. So here's what we're looking at today. We got two of them that come up on the scanner, and those are VS and SYTA. Now, SYTA, I'll start there just because this chart really doesn't look that interesting to me. This is consistent with a couple of the ones that we had yesterday where they just gapped up a whole bunch. They had these anomaly candles. It's also priced really, really, really low, down around 87, almost 88 cents. Looks like it's gapping up right now. But it's just too cheap for me to trade. It's not high enough in price. It's going to be not fitting the criteria to a T, so I'm not going to be looking to trade it. Now, VS, we kind of have the same thing going on here. This is the only two things that popped up on my scanner today. And this actually looks quite a bit better in terms of the chart. So this is actually gapping up on news. It's got a catalyst. It's got a good amount of volume. The relative volume on this one is 33.9x, and then the float is 10.7 million. So everything other than the price being above $5 fits my criteria. But above $2 isn't all that bad. We're almost at $3. So this is something I'm going to be open to today. So we're going to watch this one as the market opens. And I think what I'm going to look for is an entry at the break of this pre-market high of 244. And then we'll find a good place to set a stop loss before we get in, and we'll see what happens. So you can actually see at 3 points, we hit this resistance of 236. Right here, right here, right here, and then also right here. And we did break through it right here, but just barely. It wound up being like a false breakout. If that can break that again, and then we can see a pullback, and then looking like an entry for another leg up, at that point, I think we're in really, really good shape. I'll probably feel really good about that entry. Probably not going to happen until the market opens. So we're gonna wait and see what happens. Hopefully we get an opportunity. All right, so there's the opening bell. I'm going to see what this is going to do. I'd like to get a break of that high and then a pullback before taking a position. Looks like we might be pushing down. There we go. There's the break of the high. Okay, let's see if we can get a small pullback. And then an entry following that pullback. That makes for a really big topping tail, kind of like a false breakout is what it's looking like right now. Very indecisive. Very, very indecisive. It's trying. We also have that psychological level of $2.50. So that could be something that we might have a hard time with as well. Glancing over at the level 2 here, and we're seeing a lot of bid orders coming in that seem to be filling. But we get down below 242, we're going right down to 230s. But if we get through 247, we might be on our way up. But we've got a order for 51 that was there. It's not there anymore. There we go. Now there we go. That's what I was seeing on the level 2. We get down below 243, we're going 230s, and there we are. Wow. Lots of indecision there. I mean, this is really, really moving. This might be that pullback we need, though. If we can get that entry I was looking for, a lot of volume on these candles coming in right now. If we get through 249, we could go to the 260. We got to break that 250 level. We got to break that high of day, and we could go up pretty nicely. Or we do that instead. We get down below 219, we're going to go right down to under $2 on this. Let's see. There it goes. Now we're going to break down, see if we're going to break down below this support of 208. We've got a decent buy order that is on 224. It's not a big buy order. It's only 20,000 or 2,000 shares. But we do have quite a few orders coming in at this level on the bid. But the ask, we'd have to push up through 226 to get back to 240 range. But yeah, unfortunately, it's not looking like it's going to happen on this. It's not really a pattern that's going to be something that I can trade because of any consistency. So we've got a couple bottoming tails there, and we're at that 200 moving average. The 5 minutes, anything but favorable. Yeah, now this isn't looking good right now. Now this is another one, VLCN, that saw a really, really big move yesterday, and it's trending on one of the chat rooms. This saw a high of 665 during trading yesterday, and it's continuing to move back up today after a huge pullback, pretty much down to the support that we had a little bit higher than the low of day where we opened yesterday. We tapped it right here with one of these anomaly candles, and then we started trending upward. We do have a double top here at 633 between the pre-market and this gap up that it did when the market opened. Now it seems that it's pulling back down to this support just before the pre-market, so we could end up trading in a channel here. So this could be something that might be worth watching for an opportunity. The only problem is there's no catalyst, right? So this has news, but the news is just that it was halted and then it resumes trade. We had kind of the same news on the 25th and no real news other than just news that the stock was moving in the weeks prior. So there's not a catalyst for this that I can see. And now we just broke through that pre-market low. So that opportunity is out for me at this point. Here is SYTA, the other one that popped up on the scanner. And this is just continuing the trend it had in the pre-market of going down. So we're not really seeing an opportunity there. See, now with this, we're seeing some decreasing in volume as this is starting to consolidate here. And we've got a lot of topping tails on these candles here. So I'm pretty certain this is going to continue to go down. We might see a little bit of a push up, a little bit of a correction, and then the next leg back down. Or I could be wrong, but so far it's not looking favorable. It's looking like we hit the top because we really tested this. We pushed through by 1 cent. Did we even make that cent? We just made that 51 mark, that $2.51. Came back down, tested it again, but huge topping tails. They just couldn't hold it up. That pre-market high, and then that psychological resistance of 250 is going to be something tough to break through. And I think personally, right, if we can break through that could become a really good opportunity. We'd look for an entry, but not the way it's looking right now. There's no reason for me to believe this is going to push up and gap all the way back up to that level at this point. I have to see it happen first. And we seem to be establishing some support on the level 2 around 220. We've got a lot of orders coming through, some of them quite large, 94, 20, 14. This is a low price stock, so those aren't that big of orders. We're looking at the biggest one at 221 with 9,200 shares, 9,300 now. But now we just broke below that level. And this is one of those things I got to research a little bit more as I'm watching this level 2. I'm really studying that right now because I want to get better at that. I'm seeing a lot of big orders come in on the ask. Like I just had one for 99 pop up. We got this 12 right here. That's not very big, but we had some considerable ones. A couple of them over 100 pop up, and then within a second, they're gone again. But 229 is going to be a good number to get through. Really, 221 and then 229, and then we should see 240, according to the level 2 at least. There we go. We're starting to push up a little bit. If we start getting through these 220s, we get to 230, it should go pretty quick, according to the level 2, and what I've been told anyways. There we go. There's 230. And we've got a good amount of support at 229 on the bid, but we've also got a lot of orders coming in at 230 as well on the ask. And it almost looks like it's kind of holding it. There's a little bit of weakness there. We've got a lot of green on the tape. I don't know if you just saw that. There was a huge ask just now for 118, which would be 11,000. That would be 11,800 shares on the ask. And then it just disappeared really quickly. Whoa, there we go. There's a lot of down. Holy cow. That's a big down. See, and it's interesting because I was getting a little bit interested. I was getting very hopeful because we had this volume increasing as the price was going up. And I was gonna say, I didn't say it, I was thinking it, but I was gonna say it, is that I've got to look and do a little more research and keep watching videos and understanding, what the opportunity, how to identify a potential opportunity in here. I'm kind of thinking, well, technically, if we were to look for the standard opportunity that I'm working off of, we broke through a moving average here and we had increasing volume and we have a break of this previous candle. So could you potentially look at that as something worth taking advantage of? And then you do have this little bit of gap up, but then look what happens. It's almost like every time I think, I'm wondering if I'm doing something wrong. I'm wondering if I'm leaving money on the table because I'm not taking some of these other like dip buy opportunities. But then it just corrects and it shows me that I was correct in not taking a position, right? I was definitely correct in not taking a position as something I'm unfamiliar with. I was definitely correct in not stepping into those uncharted territories and doing something I'm not familiar with that's not part of the plan. But I was thinking as I'm watching it, we have a lot of signals that kind of, aside from the trend, right? Outside of the trend, you get a lot of signals between the level 2 and kind of being able to have a decent intuition about what may happen. And then these indicators in the stock chart moving up, right? What am I potentially missing out on because I don't know what I don't know? And then we see a little bit of a leg up. Where did we go? We went from 220 to 230. So not enough to hit our 15 to 20 cent profit target. And then kaboom, we crash. And I mean, according to the level 2 right now, we get below $2, we're going 190, 180 pretty quick, which is basically what we did here. We broke right down. But now looking at the bid, looks like we've got a fair amount of orders coming in at this $2, $1.99 mark. And then once we get through that, we're going 192, 180. So here's something I don't understand. Maybe somebody in the comments can explain to me. Why is there an order of 224 sitting on the bid at the top when we're trading at 204 right now? See, right now I'm just having a really good time watching this price action, watching this level 2, just kind of watching everything that's going to happen. I mean, right now there's definitely no opportunity. There's no way I'm going to be looking to take a position on this just because it's not doing anything in terms of price action or patterns or trends that I'm familiar enough with where I'm going to be looking for an entry. And we do see this decreasing volume on these green candles. We got these topping tails on there. So everything says, stay out. So there's not going to be any opportunities here, I think, that are going to arise for us. What I was really looking for was this break of this pre-market high and then a little bit of a pullback either around this high or around this psychological support level or resistance level of 250, the $0.50. I was hoping really to break through both and then have a little bit of a pullback and find some support in that area and then have what looks like an entry. Something sort of like this, right? So if we were to zoom in on this section of the chart, we have this big leg up and then we pulled back. And then we had a little bit of consolidation in here. And then if we zoom in a little further, let's see, where were we? So now I'm zoomed in too far. I lost my spot. So we'll zoom in to here. So now this is kind of what I was going to be hoping for, was that we'd break through, right? We'd have a little bit of a pullback, some consolidation, and then something along the lines of this, right? Popping through those moving averages, making a new high. We could set our stop loss right down here, 219 or maybe even 217, 215, something very, very close to our entry, right? That would have been, if we got in 223, that would have been not even a 10-cent loss if we were to go down and this didn't do what we were wanting it to do or expecting it to do. And then at that point, we had an opportunity to ride this up. Now, we do have what would be considered like a doji, which is a sign of a reversal. But this is just a micro pullback, and we could have just relied on our stop loss to keep us in the position, knowing that, right, we're only risking 10 cents a share. Or not even 10 cents a share. That's going to be our max loss on this. We can hold out and then we break up and then we'd come up to this level and then our sell signal. At this point, we hit our profit target, right? Because from 223 to 243, that's 20 cents. So we would have taken some profit throughout this, or maybe we even took a little profit, took a little off the table here, right? It's looking a little unfavorable. We're a little bit up on the position. So let's take some of it off the table. And then if it continues to sell off and we hit our stop loss, we'll take the rest out. But in this case, it didn't do that. It would have went up, and then we would have had our exit kind of right in here. So our exit would have actually been right here. This is the first candle to make a new low. And that's 237. And that would have been a good trade. I'd be happy with that. And then I'd be looking for another leg up. Let's zoom this back out. I'd be looking for another leg up, after that happens, right? I'd be looking for another little pullback just like this. I'd be looking for another leg up to, go either test this again or to go break out of it. And you have these anomaly candles in here that just kind of ruin the whole thing, right? Why does that happen? Why does it dive so much and then come up so much and then have all of this volatility right in here? Wouldn't be able to take that as an entry. It's just too much movement. I mean, is it just going to keep doing that? So that kind of ruins it a little bit. And then we saw another leg down. That would have kind of changed the trend a bit for me. And at that point, you can't trust anything it does. We could look at this, right? And we could probably find, candles that suggest we should enter in here. But because it's changed, now you can't do it, right? Now the position doesn't make any sense. And then we continue to go down a little further. And because of this bit of downtrend pattern here, what I was really looking for was a break of this. I want a solid confirmation that we're going to continue this uptrend. Obviously, we didn't get it. So there you have it. For the second day in a row, we didn't take any trades. And I believe it's for good reason. We just didn't see the opportunity that we needed to see. So as a brand new day trader, I'm not looking to deviate from the strategy that I've put in place at all. Not looking to break any of the rules whatsoever, because when I start breaking the rules, that means my track record has become corrupted. That means I don't know if I can trust my strategy because I didn't follow my strategy to a T. I have to keep all the emotions out of it. I have to keep all of the kind of questionable scenarios completely out of it, and I have to just follow the strategy that I put in place for myself. Now, I am starting to think that after today and after yesterday especially, seeing the amount of opportunities that were available in the pre-market in the early hours of the morning, maybe this is something I need to start taking advantage of. So up to this point, I've just been coming in and only trading from like maybe 8:50, 9 o'clock, 9:15 and watching the charts, and then taking trades once the market opens. The Thinkorswim paper trading simulator doesn't allow you to actually submit and fill orders in the pre-market. So that's part of the reason why I've only been trading during market open, which is going to be after 9:30 Eastern time, after the opening bell. Technically speaking, with a real brokerage account with real funds, I would be able to take those trades during the pre-market, and it seems to be where a lot of the opportunities are. Now, there's nothing in the strategy that suggests I shouldn't trade the pre-market. The only thing that's in there that suggests I should be a little cautious is trading a trend going into the market open. But anything pre-market is technically fair game. So I'm wondering if tomorrow maybe I shouldn't come in quite a bit earlier and see if I can maybe capitalize on some of the opportunities that are happening very early in the day that we're not getting the same scenario after the market opens. It's also possible that the stock market could just be having a rough week. I wasn't expecting to be able to take trades every single day. And it's realistically only been a couple of days in a row that I haven't been able to take a trade. Tomorrow could be totally different. Then, of course, we have the holiday, the 4th of July on Thursday, and then we'll have Friday again to give it another go. Maybe I'll just wait till the end of this week. I'll keep doing things exactly the way I am. We'll see how this week pans out. If the whole week goes by without having an opportunity to make a trade, at that point, I'm probably going to look to maybe amend the strategy just a little bit. Now, one thing I did want to touch on too is I actually got a comment on my last video, and this channel is brand new. I have no audience here. I have no brand. I'm just building this up and looking to build this community from scratch here. And I did have a comment from a guy named John that really got me thinking. And his comment was regarding the psychology of trading. And his recommendation was for me to start trading in the paper account with the same size position that I would trade when I have real money. Initially, the reason I was going for larger positions in the paper trading account is because it is only a paper trading account, and I'm really only looking at the signals that tell me to get in and get out. I'm trying to set a max loss, a stop loss, a mental stop loss prior to getting into the position. And I'm also establishing where my take profit would be and if there's enough take profit, enough room to swing based on the price action to hit that take profit mark. And so for that reason, I didn't really think about changing the position size. I just assumed use the same position size every single time. And that might make the data collection and being able to look at the data I'm collecting on my spreadsheet, which I'm going to show you in a second, a little bit easier. But it got me thinking after he said that. I thought about it a little more and I said, one thing I haven't been doing to manage risk is taking smaller positions based on the risk associated with the trade. So for instance, one of the most recent trades I made, and we're going to take a look at the spreadsheet here. This one here on BSFC, which took place on the 27th, we got in with 10,000 shares at 342, and we got out, and this was at 9:31 a.m. right after the market opened. It was started gapping up after a uptrend in the pre-market. And then we got out half the position at 9:32, a minute and 4 seconds later at 3:59 for a profitable trade because we hit our profit target. Then we got out again, the rest of the position at 9:32.52, so about 45 seconds later at 3:53, just slightly less, but still for more profit, higher than what our entry was. And it kind of got me thinking, this was a very risky trade because this wasn't, after the market opened and we saw a leg up and then a pullback, a little bit of a cool down, and then getting in for the next leg up. We just got in as the market opened. We saw that dip. We saw that pullback in the pre-market. We saw it starting to climb up and starting to give us a buy signal in the pre-market. And as soon as the market opened, what I had said was, let's wait for this stock to go up. Let's break that pre-market high, and then we'll get in. And we did that. We did exactly that. We broke the pre-market high. I put a buy order in. It filled, and we held on for a very short amount of time until it started to show a little bit of weakness, like the move was over. And that's when we started getting out. And then once it continued to go down, we got out again. What I think I should have done in that situation, after what John had said, was I should have gone in with a smaller position size. There's a lot of uncertainty in a position like that. And I think that would have been a smarter move. Now, it just so happens that it worked out in our favor, right? So this was a good green trade and we made a lot of profit because of it. But because that was such a risky position, I think I should have managed my risk a little bit more by taking a smaller position size. And that's not something I had thought about and not something I have been doing up until this point. So what I'm going to do, I think, moving forward is I'm going to actually be assessing that in the moment as best I can. So if I see something where it looks good, but I'm a little uncertain because of maybe previous price action, but nonetheless, we have that entry we need. If I think it needs a smaller position size, I'm going to take a smaller position size. It's not really something that I've thought about. I'm still not going to be planning on adding to a position once I'm already in. Once I'm in, I'm looking for my exit signals. That's just it. It's either going to be my stop loss or the chart suggests that we got some weakness and we're not going to continue going up. So we're going to go ahead and get out. And then, of course, taking a little bit, probably half the position at our take profit, which is 15 to 20 cents, somewhere right in there per share. So, John, I appreciate that comment. And I appreciate everybody who's subscribed so far and has come in and is engaging. So far, it's been overwhelmingly positive, the little bit of engagement I have been getting. So if you guys want to drop your thoughts in the comments below, I'm going to be coming in here every single day and updating you on my progress. And every single day that I trade, whether I make a trade, whether I have a green day or whether I have a red day and I lose money, I'm going to be coming in and giving you that update in the form of a video just like this. And it should all be live, recorded from a screen share in real time. The other thing I did, because I had somebody request a copy of this spreadsheet here that we're looking at, is I've actually gone ahead and created a landing page where you guys can sign up for an email newsletter. Now, when you do that, it's going to send you a copy of the spreadsheet that you can edit. You just click file and then make a copy after you've imported it into your Google Sheets account. And then you'll be able to actually start using this as well. I had a gentleman come in that said he is brand new to day trading as well, just started a week ago, want to know if you get a copy of the sheet. Hell yeah, that's a great idea. So if you go into the description, you'll see that link and you can go in and you can sign up for the newsletter. I'll also be sending you a message whenever I upload a new post. And I'll also include just a recap of that post because I am uploading every day. We've all got lives. We don't have time to watch every single video I post. I get that. I would love for you to come and watch every single video, but obviously that's not practical. This way, if you want to, you can still get those updates right to your inbox, right from me directly. And then even if you miss a couple videos, you can still stay up to date on progress and things that are happening. And then any of my key takeaways, anything that I think is important, I'll also send over to you as well, in terms of like things that I learned, changes to the strategy and stuff like that. So thanks for watching, everybody. Please subscribe if you want to continue watching these videos and you want to get notifications of every time I upload, and leave a like on this video because it helps the algorithm. And I'll be back tomorrow. I'll see you on the next one.